Hi Anti-Society, welcome back to the Anti-Social Planet, and today we are checking out Dino's Wait. Now, I have put this off for a little bit, partly because in December I was doing a bunch of Christmassy stuff, so this got put on the back burner. Also because I'm a little bit scared. Like, I don't know what this song is. I've really avoided everything about it, except for some of the promotional photos, which I did see, and that was, those were a moment. I think we were all suffering after that one, but I've been putting it off because Dino has written or helped write some of my favorite songs from 17 that I'm just nervous. You know, like I'm still trying to recover from Shadow. Like it's not even just like for Dino, like in general, Shadow is still something that's like my Roman Empire, and I'm just not ready for what he can do entirely on his own, because like he's a fantastic performer. So I know that like the MV and performances of this are going to be incredible, but I don't know what sound I'm about to like get into, right? Like it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a lot and I'm not ready, but we're gonna do it today. So we're gonna check out a lyric video first so I can hear the song, and then we'll get into the music video because I know that he's gonna wreck me. He's gonna come for me, and I would like to at least have some idea of what I'm hearing before that happens, because I won't be paying attention to the song. It's gonna be one of those. So let's get into hearing the song first. All right, sir, let's see what you got for me. That's a fun synth.
Want to walking on your mind 맘을 향한 걸음마 가까워지는 듯 싶을 때 놓쳐버려 all night long 눈망울 waiting 주저하면 멈춘 그 모습에 붕 떠버리는 무중력까지 서로의 맘이 가벼워질까봐 조금 무서워져서
Ooh, okay, I love how like stripped back a lot of the production is. Like there's not a lot right now that might change as we get closer and closer to like the chorus and stuff. I love the way he's kind of throwing his voice up. Like there's this, I don't really know how best to describe it, but there's this way of him kind of throwing his voice forward that has a really interesting cadence compared to the rest of the vocals. He has fairly like breathier, softer vocals here, so having that change is interesting, especially with this talk of like walking and stuff. So it almost feels like he's kind of calling to someone who's ahead of him or at a distance from him, and it seems like maybe there's, if we're talking about a relationship, whether that's romantic or otherwise, it seems like there seems to be some kind of disconnect between them. So I think it's an interesting like narrative element to put into the vocals, that it feels like he's almost like calling to someone from a distance and trying to like get them to understand his point of view, maybe. With the vocals in the back. Ooh, these synths! Hang on, the drop though. Hang on. Oh, like stuttering synth on the one side. Ooh, piano! Oh, it's like almost like grungy with it. Like there's something very, like the one kind of constant in it is like this kind of like bass percussion going through it, which I think is to be expected since he's a performer, a dancer. So you want something that has like a consistent beat in it if he's going to be performing. I'm assuming there's choreo to it. So you want to have that as like an anchor for what you're building the rest of the performance around. But it's really interesting with the synths, like the choice of like the stuttering and the space in between the different elements, which I think also fits with this narrative of like, it feels like two people who are not on the same page about where this relationship is, whether that is a romantic relationship or otherwise. I don't know. I feel like we could speculate either way if we want to, but it does feel as if there is this distance between these two people, like some kind of barrier between them. Him even saying like, don't tell me wait, like, don't tell me that I have to pause or, you know, not progress in the way that I want to, or like continue the story between what we have together. So having those spaces in between the different elements in the production, I feel like really fit with that. Is like it has this disconnection in even the production to go along with the narrative. And then it also is just like a really interesting way of putting the production together. I'm really interested to see how the choreo goes with that. Like what parts of it are what the movements are accenting or bouncing off of. Like, are we going to, I'm assuming we're not going to just stick with like that percussion that's going through it, but like what parts of those synths and things being put together are going to be the elements that they accent with the moves. Really interesting choice with the sound of it. I wouldn't have expected this from what I've heard so far from Dino. This isn't where my brain would have gone. It's catchy though. Ad-libs. That vocal run, he's doing some really cool things with his voice too, where we have this almost like sing rap parts in it and then mixing that with the actual vocals. Like it's really interesting how he's almost, because there's these pockets within the production, that he's using his voice as like a secondary like rhythm section almost, if that makes sense. Like his voice is kind of playing off of the music in a way that I think is really interesting. Like obviously vocal melodies are going to add a certain amount of melody to the song, but I feel like a lot of the time they're kind of going with some of the stuff in the production. Like there's certain things in the production that are there because they fit with the melody, like they follow the same melodies between the two of them, or the vocals kind of sit on top of the production so that you can hear them really well. But this feels more like his voice is kind of integrating into the beat of the song, which is cool. I have little cries he's putting into. I heard that flip up. See, like even the production, it almost feels like a rewind, or almost like a comical record like scratch, you know, like when you get like the sounds of like a record like being stopped, and it has that kind of warped sound to it. So it, again, even that production part of it feels like this sense of like being told to stop or being interrupted in the middle of something. Like the song itself feels like it's being stilted and interrupted throughout like the whole thing, which is really cool, like sonically, to fit with this idea of like feeling like there's some kind of barrier between these two people, or they're not communicating the right way, or they're being forced to like, you know, Dino's narrative in this is like being forced to halt whatever it is that he is feeling or thinking or wanting to pursue with this person, and having that stilted nature to what is happening within the narrative is even like echoed in the way that the production is put together, which is just super cool. Like an interesting idea to put these many like deliberate parts into the production, even though there's not a ton there. Like it doesn't have this huge wave of sound. There's like a ton of moments where it's just like bass, some like clapping, whether it's like actual clapping or if it's almost like a beat pad or something with that sound, and then like some like synth keys, like really minimal, and like his voice, super minimal moments within the production, and being able to use lots of those spaces. I really want to see choreo, like a performance of this, because having those many like different elements and spaces in between stuff, how do you link movements between those different elements if all you have in between those is space, right? Like if you have silence in between two moves, how do you transition between those? That must be such a challenge. I'm so intrigued. Like this song like fascinates me in a way. Like some of his other songs that he's written are like so gorgeous or devastating that like I have like, they're like core memories. They like do something to my soul. Whereas like this one's like this fascinating puzzle. Like the more that I hear the different things in it, the more I just want to like pull apart how this is all put together. Love those keys. I also love there, he almost has like a darker tone to his voice. Like he has a very like forward light sound for a lot of this. And then in the chorus, he just gets like, he digs a little bit more into this like darker tone, which I really like. We're picking up a bit. Ooh, see like there he like really forward. You can hear like some like nasal resonance with it. Like the way that he just like inched forward with that sound to give it a little bit more pang, a little bit more forward momentum. I think really fits with the narrative too, where it's like him kind of pushing forward and forward and forward and being like, you know, this is fate, and like, you know, racing towards you. Like he has this feeling of like picking up momentum where he's like not going to actually be forced to wait or be forced to hold back from, he said, like this thing called fate. So he's like, this is fate, this is meant to be, this is how I feel, I'm not going to sit around and do nothing about it. So like the way that he's picking up momentum in the narrative, you can hear his voice shifting forward, which I think is a really clever way of just adding like a little narrative touch to his vocals. You can hear like a little nasal there. And then he shifts back for weight, which is interesting. I'm sorry, sir, was that your voice? No. No, absolutely not. I will, unacceptable. No. What an interesting song. I feel like I didn't go as much into like the narrative of it because I feel like it was a little bit more straightforward in terms of like the picture that was being painted, and maybe I've missed some things. Feel free to fill me in on that one. The way that like the production and the way that he's using his voice pull that narrative into like every element of the song is what's fascinating to me. And I would not have expected the sound. Like I was like, I have a pretty good idea of what Dino's sound kind of is. This is something new for me. I really want to see like the performance to this. Like how do you pull this into a performance? Because again, you have so much space in between some things and you have so many different parts of it that like are kind of like in isolation with the different synths. Like it's not like a bunch of things layered over top of each other and you can pick one of those elements and use that to accent the movement. You have like these synths in isolation that are shifting between these different sounds, and then you have moments where there's like this silence space in between them. Like what do you do with those movements in those moments? I guess like this with a song called Wait, you could have some kind of pause in the choreo as well, and it would fit with the narrative. It just makes me want to see a performance even more, but we're gonna check out the MV now. This is where I get scared because I know one cheeky grin from Dino and I'm out for the count, you know? I want to see the choreo though. Okay. I love the blinking light, the synth. Gosh, why does he have to look like that? Did it skip his number? Okay, but like, can we talk about him just like walking? I I know this is not what the envy is about. I like him like taking the number, like taking a ticket, needing to wait. I like the imagery of that. Don't we all hate having to be in a waiting room, right? But like the just him walking, the like confidence and the way, like I'm just gonna be here fangirling. It's fine. Why does he have to be dressed in this particular outfit though? I can't look at him. Okay, can we talk about this outfit change? Also, wasn't he on a crosswalk in God of Music? Was he trying to tell us something? Wasn't he dancing on a crosswalk? I think I'm right. The outfit change though, with the leather jacket, I'm gonna pay attention to the choreo though. I feel like maybe we went back in time. Oh, the way he's hitting those certain moves. The pops. Oh, I love the like finger details he did at the beginning. The way that he was hitting those pops. Super good. He has such fluid movements. Like he could do like the bare minimum. Honestly, like Dino can do like the smallest move when it comes to dancing and I will be just like gushing about it because there's something about the fluidity of, I mean, he was walking and I was freaking out about it, so. But there's like with the fluidity of his moves that's just so captivating. Like the charisma, the silhouettes too. I feel like we don't talk enough about it. And maybe this is because my background when it comes to any kind of like choreographed movement has to do with tableau and mime, but silhouettes are super, super important for that because like on stage, you have to have a strong enough silhouette that like if people cannot see anything in your face, they have to know what you're trying to communicate from a distance, right? Like sometimes you are just a silhouette to people when they're like all the way in the back seats. So for me, I'm like silhouettes and getting it right is like something that takes a ton of practice and you just have to put in the hours to get it right. And his silhouettes are always so good. Like he has such strong, well-balanced silhouettes and I appreciate it. Oh, I love the foot with that synth too. I love that, the like cursor. Oh, I love the like pressed flower too. So I'm assuming like there's a past and then him now. Him with the flowers is maybe a past moment. I'm sorry. What is this outfit? What is this outfit? The denim with the sleeves gone. I had like a much stronger reaction to that than I was ready for. I was like, I like choked. It's fine. What are we doing? I was like getting into the MV story with like the boyfriend look that we were doing. And then we switched. Who is making you wait? That's my question. Who has the self-control and discipline to be making Dino wait? Because I'm not that person. I would cave. I mean, I was talking at the beginning of this. I'm like, one cheeky grin and I'm caving. That's all it would take. He would just walk by me and I would cave. So who is this person with such strong self-control? I cannot relate. Clearly. Ooh, the spin is good. Did I see a cheeky grin, sir? No, stupid. Hang on a gosh darn minute. That caving immediately. That's all it would take. I love the spin with, again, like the crosswalk lines being used. Like, I love that it is like this space in between like two, like a where you are and a destination, and like him like waiting at the stoplight, and you just need to like walk across, but like there's a certain decorum there. Like you wait to cross unless you're someone who jaywalks, and then in which case still you're kind of like looking for the chance to cross over. Like there's certain rules and like socially accepted behavior to cross the street, right? And you have to have like some kind of permission. Like someone has to like wave you through, or there's no other vehicles around, or you wait for the little walking person to tell you that you can go. I love it being used in lots of different ways, whether it's like the cursor or the like loading little animation. Like super, super fun. This, though, maybe I don't want to see a live performance. Maybe I'm not ready. I knew it was going to get me. I wasn't expecting like this. In my defense, though, Dino has been coming for me since Rock With You. That was my moment when I was like, oh, Dino's a problem. It's fine. Backup dancers are doing a great job too. Oh, I love the running in place too. Why are we incorporating props? I was just gonna be like, oh, we're back to more of like a boyfriend look. And then he came at me again with that weight. With the deeper voice, it's fine. I'm fine. You're fine. I'm fine. How are the Dino biases doing? Have we checked in on them since this came out? Oh, the spin was good. Hang on. Sir, who is making you wait? And what is their secret? Did we end up connecting, or is this like all the way back to the beginning? Because we had the pressed flower, which makes me feel like this is a future moment. So is it that we're finally getting the okay? Because I had the ticket and the pressed flower. Is this our moment? Like we're finally getting what we were waiting for with like the food, right? Symbolically. And now we don't have to wait anymore? Is that what's happening? I don't even know. I don't know how to feel. I don't know where I'm at. I don't think I was properly warned. Okay. I knew people were talking about this, but I didn't really see all that much about it. Maybe that was just me being in my own bubble, what was all going on. And I saw the promotional photos that people were freaking out about, which is justified. So I was like, I'm fine, right? I'll be fine. I was not ready for like the certain like moves that he was doing, like the like popping, I think fits with it so well, with having these like I was talking, these spaces in between the different production movement moments, and then like having like moments where it was like these more aggressive moves, like there was more energy behind certain moves, and then other more like drawn out fluid movements. I need to see, I think I need to see a full performance. I worry about my safety, but I think I need to. This is like me having like a bias wrecker panic moment. Wow. Like I was not expecting that sound. Honestly, I was not expecting that to be the route that he went with this particular solo. It was catchy. Like I was catching myself like trying not to sing along to it while going through the MV, and that's only my second listen through. Like it's surprising how catchy it is, given how there's like this minimal production to it. I don't know how I feel. I'm like, this like flustered and off-kilter way after this. Like I'm like, it was good and I loved it and I want to listen to it a bunch more times and I want to see the live performances. And like, is there a dance practice? I'm assuming there's a performance video of some kind. I haven't fully investigated. I'm mostly just upset that I haven't heard that much about it. Like I've heard a little bit, and I remember there was like promotional stuff where like I had to scroll by like TikToks of him like doing, I think there was some kind of TikToks where he was dancing with like the other members and stuff, and I had to like go past because I was like, I'm not ready to hear the song yet. But I haven't heard like a ton about it. And is that me being in this weird bubble where this just happens to be something that I'm not hearing about, or are we not talking about it? Because if we're not talking about it, I would like to be given a megaphone and I will talk about it, because I feel like the more I listen to the song, the more things I'm gonna find about it that I'm like, oh, that was an interesting choice. Like I feel like there's so many things in the production and the way that he chose to put the song together with the other people on the team. I don't know exactly who all helped him with writing in this, that are just fascinating to me. And there's such attention to detail, which I think very much fits with Dino. I think that he has such an attention to detail and there's such precision to what he decides to include in a performance that I always just find it fascinating. Like I feel like I need to go through every little single element because I know he has, and has made sure that everything is there deliberately to deliver what he wants in that moment. So I just really want to like go through like with a fine-tooth comb and like find all of those little details. But I hope you enjoyed listening to that along with me. You can click my reaction to God of Music over here, or you can subscribe to me next time I post a 17 reaction. I will see you in the next video. Bye.